Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca and this will be a 30-minute or so class to help ease back pain. I have 2 yoga blocks here. If you have some, have them nearby. If you don't, it's totally okay. You can still do the class. You just might have to modify in a few places depending on your mobility. Let's get started. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing better. And we'll begin by staggering our right shin in front of the left, grounding both sitting bones on the mat. Bring your fingertips out in front of you, lengthen through the spine by pressing your fingertips into the mat, as if someone had a string on the top of your head. Your spine is just growing longer. And connect with your breath here. In and out through the nose. Keeping your sitting bones glued to the mat. Try to grow a little bit taller, finding length. And then gently begin to fold forward, maybe coming onto the forearms. We're all going to feel this a little bit differently, so if you're not feeling too much here, you can always make a little pillow with your hands and bring your forehead down. So find whichever variation works for you. You should be feeling this on the outside of your right hip, maybe a little bit into the glute, down the outside of your right thigh, and a little bit in your lower back. Try to relax your shoulders and breathe into your belly here. In this class, we are going to be holding the poses for about 25 to 30 breaths, focusing on calming the nervous system to relax the tension in the back. And to exit out of this, continue to breathe, and wherever you are, press your hands into the mat and rise up. And from here, go ahead and straighten your right leg out to the side. And you can decide how wide you open it up. And then lengthen through the spine. Begin to rotate so your navel is facing your right leg. And then just walk your fingertips out, starting with a straight spine. Again, press your fingertips into the ground to help lengthen your spine, having a nice active foot here, pressing the heel into the floor as well. Now go ahead and let go of all of the muscle control. Relax your leg, your foot, your arms. Let your spine round and take a passive variation of this pose. You might be feeling it in the low back, mid back, back of the leg. Wherever you are feeling this, just breathe into that area. Send your breath wherever you feel the most tension. Not trying to fight against gravity. If the floor is too far away from you as well, this would be a great place to utilize some blocks. Take 5 more full rounds of breath here. And when you are ready to come out, press your hands into the mat, continuing to breathe. And walk yourself up till your spine is straight. And then just gently twist to the left, bringing your right hand to your left knee. And then come back through center. Straighten your left leg. Bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. Hands come behind you. You can tent your fingers. And then bend your left knee as much as is appropriate for you. So we're all going to feel this differently. If you have really tight hips, you may be more right here, or maybe you're feeling enough just right here. So don't compare yourself to how my shape looks. Keep the chest open. And then go ahead and straighten that left leg. Shake it out if you need to before we head to the other side. So now we're going to stagger the left shin in front of the right. Walk your fingertips out in front of you. Press your fingertips into the mat. Relax the shoulders. Spine is growing longer and longer. Keep your hips grounded on the mat. Oh, hi, Pandora. And when you feel ready, lower down to wherever feels good for you. Sending your breath to those areas that are tight and tense. Telling them it's okay to soften. You can make your exhale slightly longer than your inhale. So maybe inhale for 4 counts and exhale for 5. Or find whatever number of inhales and exhales is appropriate for you. And when you're ready to come up, press into the floor. Extend your left leg out to the side. Rotate your stomach so you're facing your leg. Walk your fingertips out as far as is comfortable. Press them into the mat. Press your heel into the mat. Straight spine. And then go ahead and release that active stretch and just let the spine curl. Release any muscle control. And it's totally normal for one side to feel tighter, less flexible. That's not really what yoga is about. It's not about judging how your body feels or experiences these poses. It's about becoming aware of the areas that need a little extra love. So don't condemn yourself for being tight or tense. You're human. It happens. Five more deep breaths here. Not fighting against gravity. Really let yourself fold. And utilize your props if you need them. And to slowly exit, press into the mat as you breathe. Rise up and then just gently twist to the right, bringing your left hand to your right knee. Untwist, straighten your right leg, bring your left ankle on your right knee. Hands come back behind you on your fingertips, and then bend the right knee as much as is appropriate for you. You don't want to let the spine curl in and shoulders round. You want to keep everything nice and open. Let the energy flow through you, not blocking your airways in any way. And again, if you want to sway from side to side a little bit. I'm not sure if I did this on the first side, but in any pose, if you want to find movement that feels nurturing, go ahead and do it. And then straighten your right leg. And then here we're going to come into a forward fold, or known as caterpillar pose, but with bent knees to help support the back. So if you have yoga props, you can take your blocks, if you would like, place them underneath your knees, or you can do this with a pillow or a bolster. And you want your feet to be hip width distance. That's about 2 fists. So just go ahead and check that. And then fold forward, letting the spine round. And if the blocks are not very comfortable, you can abandon them and just bend the knees without them. I just like having something underneath to support me. And the whole purpose of bending the knees in like this is to close the gap between the stomach and the thighs, which often causes a strain on the spine when there's nothing for the stomach to rest on. And you might have to bend your knees quite a bit to make the connection to your stomach, and that is okay. We just really want to focus on nurturing the spine and the back in this class. Let the back of the head be heavy. Head can hang. No pushing or pulling. Breathe deep into the belly. Inhaling for 4 counts. Exhaling for 5. And to exit this, continue to breathe. Press your hands into the mat. Slowly push yourself up. If you had props underneath your knees, go ahead and set them to the side. From here, we'll swing our legs behind us so we can come onto hands and knees. Stacking your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Let's take some rounds of cat and cow very gently here. Drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, and curl the tailbone under. Really feel the space between your shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale. And try to feel this throughout your entire back. Inhale. Exhale. Continue this on your own, matching breath to movement. Feeling your entire spine. And then next time you come into cat pose, which is where you're tucking the chin and rounding the spine, send your hips back towards your heels, but do not rest. And then inhale, come back up to your cat, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Or cow. Exhale, cat pose. Send the hips back. Feel the stretch in the lower back. As long as you keep your hands glued where they are, you should feel a deep stretch in the spine. And then inhale back up. One more time. And let's find a neutral tabletop, so flat back. Walk your palms out in front of you, straightening your arms. Keep your hips above the knees. Go ahead and lower the forehead to the mat, coming into puppy stretch. This is also great for back pain or if you have a stiff spine. To come out of this, rest your forearms on the mat and just bring your weight forward. So you are resting on your forearms. They should be about shoulder width, distance away from each other. Tops of the feet are relaxing on the mat. This is called Sphinx pose. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. You can gaze slightly in front of your hands. And then just bring the elbows out to the side. And we'll just neutralize the spine for a moment by making a pillow with the hands, resting the forehead. And then come on up. And reach for one of your blocks if you have one. If you don't have one, that's okay. I'm just going to sit on it. Place it between my heels. You can totally just sit on your heels if that's comfortable, or cross-legged. Find whatever is comfortable for you. You need to come into eagle arms, which is a great stretch for the back. So bring your right arm underneath your left. And you can just cross once and bring the back of the hands to touch. Or if you have the mobility, you can bring the palms to touch. Lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. And then pull your hands away from your face. So they're not coming in towards your face, you're pulling them away. And then tuck the chin slightly. If you have a tight upper back, this might feel a little bit too intense. If that's the case, you can always just abandon this and give yourself a hug instead and continue to tuck the chin. One more full round of breath. And then go ahead and unwind the arms. You can bring them up for a minute. Lengthen the spine and just let it go. And bring them out to the sides again. And this time we're going to do the left arm underneath the right. Again, you can just cross once and bring the backs of the hands together, or you can cross twice and touch the palms. Either way, it's still stretching the same muscles. Or give yourself a hug too if this is inaccessible to you. Lift the elbows in line with the shoulders. Pull the hands away from your face. Tuck the chin. One more full round of breath. And then go ahead and unwind. Reach the arms up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, let it all go. Let the arms hang. And then if you were sitting on a block, go ahead and come off of it. If you do not have a block, it's okay. You can do this sequence. You will just not use a block. So we're going to come into a bridge pose variation. So put the block on its first height underneath your sacrum, which is the triangle bone at the base of your spine. You'll find that comfortable spot, and extend your left leg long in front of you. Right knee is going to bend as you wrap your hands around the shin and hug the knee into the chest. So if you don't have a block, you can still do this. You just won't be elevated off the ground, which is okay. The purpose for the block is to just help open the front of the hips a little bit more. When the hips get really tight, they can affect the low back as well. Everything is connected. And with your right ankle, you can do some ankle rolls, maybe 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. One more full round of breath. And go ahead and bend back into both legs. Reset. Straighten your right leg. Left knee bends. Reach around, grab in front of the left shin, and hug it in. You can take ankle rolls if you did it on the other side. Three more breaths. And if you have the block underneath your sacrum, you can leave it there. If you don't have it in there, you can also do this. But hug the knees into the chest regardless of where you are, regardless if you have a block underneath your lower back. I just really love this variation of having the low back elevated and supported by a block while hugging the knees into the chest. I feel like it gives a little bit of a deeper stretch, but totally possible to do this without a block under the back as well. And then slowly bring your feet back on the mat. Press them into the floor to lift up slightly to remove your yoga block if you had it. Walk your feet out to the edges of the mat, heels out, toes in. Let your knees drop in. Rest on one another just for a moment to neutralize the spine. And then bring your feet about hip width distance. And then your left ankle is going to rest on your right knee. Hug your right knee into your chest. Reach around and you can grab the back of your right thigh. Hug it into your chest. And so your lower back should be relaxing completely. Just a little bit of strength in your arms to help pull the knee into the chest. Send your breath to your left hip as if it was breathing. Let the tension melt away. And then go ahead and bring your right foot back to the floor. And then go ahead and straighten your right leg. Again, hug your left knee into your chest like we were doing before, but this time cross it over your body towards the right. And then you might have to move your hips, rotate them so one is stacking on top of the other. Lengthen the arms out to the side in a T. If this is straining on your left thigh, you can take a yoga block and put it underneath your knee, like that, to help support you. Then if you would like more of a stretch in the cervical spine or the neck, you can rotate your gaze to look in the opposite direction of your knee. Remembering to breathe here. I know I sound like a broken record, but I promise it makes all the difference. And then I'm gonna slowly unroll or roll back onto my back. Unwind is what I meant to say. And then I'm gonna reach for the outside edge or the big toe of my left foot, keeping my elbow on the inside of that knee. You can keep the right leg straight, or you can bend it and kind of let the knee flop to the side as a counterweight. This is a half happy baby pose. And then release that. Recenter your hips. And then cross your right ankle on your left knee. Hug your left knee into your chest. Reach around, grab behind the thigh. Hug it in. Just taking any mental notes of how this side might feel different, just so you know how to better care for yourself. It might need a little less sensation or a little more. Try to relax your shoulders as much as you can. Three more breaths here. And go ahead and release that. You can go ahead and straighten your left leg, hug the right knee into your chest, and then cross it over. I have to rotate your hips. Move my microphone. Again, you can support this left knee with a block if you need to. Do your best to keep both shoulders grounded on the mat. And if you did so on the other side, just so you're even and balanced, gaze in the opposite direction of your knee. But if you didn't do it on the other side, don't worry about it. We just should create balance, or it's good to create balance. It's nothing that you should do, but your body will thank you. One more full round of breath. And then when you unwind, roll onto your back nice and gently, and reach for the big toe or the outside edge of your right foot. And then bend the left knee if you did so on the other side, and let it act as a counterweight as you pull your right leg down towards your armpits. You just love to block me when I'm filming. And then slowly release that. Recenter your hips on the mat, bringing them in line with your shoulders. We're going to come into our final Shavasana here. So lengthen yourself out on your mat. Take up as much space as you need. Let go of any and all breath control. Let go of any expectations of yourself, of what you thought this class would be or should be. Let go of anything that didn't happen that you wanted to. Let yourself feel heavy and supported on the mat as you rest and soak up all the goodness from your practice. I encourage you to stay here as long as you would like, but if you are ready to be let out, begin lengthening your breath. Make small, subtle movements, maybe rolling out wrists and ankles. You can sway your head from side to side before hugging your knees into your chest, giving them one last squeeze. You can lift your nose up to your knees if you would like. Squeeze it in. Say thank you to yourself for taking the time to take care of your body. And then roll to one side before slowly pushing yourself up. And we will meet in a comfortable seat, taking your time to get there. I hope your back feels a little less tense and that this practice helped you relax and relieve any pain that you were feeling. We'll close with the chant of Om one time. You can join me in Anjali Mudra if you would like, hands at heart center. We'll take one full clearing breath to prepare to Om. So inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale to Om. Namaste. Thank you so much for doing this class. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please like and comment on this video if you enjoyed it and got something out of it. I'll see you next week. Bye.